My man Brian runs the whole show from the SPDSX Pro, just not the lighting yet. In my video yesterday when I was talking about like controlling the lighting, obviously the lights are going to run from either a program or whatever you're using to send out DMX. I'm sure Brian knows this, but for those who don't do lights yet, I use a program called Lightkey, and so Lightkey can take MIDI signal, and so on my playback controller, so either in my dual Mac Mini rig that's sitting off the stage running the redundant Ableton sets, that rig has the ability to send MIDI to any part of my network. And so my MacBook Air, which is next to the drums, which controls the house lights, it controls our lighting package on stage, is receiving MIDI over the network. It's called RTP MIDI. And so that MacBook Air is receiving MIDI over the network, and that SPDSX is using the MacBook Air as a RTP MIDI server because it is plugged in USB to that MacBook Air and then can send MIDI over the same network that the MacBook Air is connected to, which is connected to the playback rack and everything else. And so I use that SPDSX to control a lot of things. It controls the transport controls inside of the master Ableton set, which is off the stage inside of a rack, running on two Mac Minis redundantly. And so play, stop, next song, you know, certain markers in the session, I have those bound to some of the SPDSX pads, like I was talking about yesterday. And then I have some other like dials and knobs and pads bound to certain lighting sequences inside of my lighting software, which is running off of the MacBook Air, that the SPDSX is actually USB connected to. It's really nice. Now my whole light show is automated and everything fires automatically, but there are certain parameters like the master fader for dimming on all of the lights in the venue. Because again, I control the venue's lights that are mounted to the ceiling from behind the drum set, automated, using the off-stage Mac Minis that are running the Ableton set, right? I mean, it's kind of complicated. We'll go over it in more videos. But having some of that functionality to be able to control the dimmers, control how intense the haze machines are running, because you have to have haze if you want to have, you know, proper lighting on stage. So controlling the dimmers, controlling the haze machines, and then if for some reason my playback system goes down and the MIDI is not firing from the dual Mac Minis off stage, the lights aren't gonna fire because the lighting software is waiting for MIDI signals to then trigger certain lighting sequences. And so I have the SPDSX set up for a couple panic switches where I could either hit a pad or I have the foot trigger plugged into the bottom, where with my left foot, because I'm playing drums, I can just very quickly in 1 millisecond, you know, just reach my foot over, tap a button, and I will have lights cued on, at least so that there's some kind of lighting situation happening. Because the last thing I want is the entire stage to go dark and there's no sound and we can't do anything about it. And because I don't have a backup solution to just cue lights quickly, I'm fumbling around on a dark